everybody, glad to have you here for this video. Today I am going to be talking about the Maybelline Brow Satin. Maybe some of you who have purchased this have noticed that on the packaging, nowhere on here does it say Brow Satin, but it says Define and Fill Duo. But basically what Maybelline has put out here is a product that they claim will give you naturally full brows. It's a two-step thing. So on one end you've got a traditional pencil, which is retractable, and then on the other end you've got kind of a neat little gizmo that I know I've seen Mally include in some of her products. It's this applicator that's kind of loaded with a spring right here, and that's going into product that's sitting right here in this cap. So it's a powdery product, and every time it's going in there, it's picking some up. So kind of a cool idea to give you those two steps in one, very compact pencil. I have this in the shade Deep Brown, and I do feel like it turned out to be a very good match for my hair color. Now, sometimes if I can find a nice cool toned option, I'll like to go a little bit lighter in my brow choices, just because I feel like I can put them on. I'm a lot of times going over some existing brow hair, and I think sometimes when I grab something lighter, it can keep my brows from looking too intense. But I still feel like this, while both ends of the product are pigmented and transfer easily onto the brow, I don't feel like it was too much for me. And here I've swatched, a couple of strokes of the pencil and also some of the powder. And it's not too deep and dark and heavy, even though the shade I have is 260 Deep Brown. To focus on the pencil part first, love that it's retractable. I'm all about a retractable pencil, but this does make me think about some of the other popular ones on the market, like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and then something that's been closely compared to that has been the new NYX brow pencil, which is called the Micro Brow Pencil. So those have really, really fine tips. And Maybelline already has a product called Define a Brow that has a super, super fine tip to it. So if you're wanting some of the most feather light, super small strokes that a pencil can give you, you might want to look into some of those other options, because this is just a little bit thicker. And I do think it can lend itself to a little bit fuller brow look, when you are using a little bit thicker pencil. And I found when I was applying it, it transferred right onto my skin very easily. I was going over an area where I have a bit of a scar, and that's always very telling. When the pencil is too dry, sometimes the product won't transfer over that area. But at the same time, I never want a goopy brow pencil either, because I just don't like that feeling. I've got a lot of existing brow hair, and I don't want something that's going to really look unnatural in that. And you might have noticed the way I fill in my brows lately, I've been kind of starting at the bottom part just to give myself a little bit cleaner edge right down there, and then I'm trying to stay away from the innermost point of my brows. I feel like I've kind of got those just naturally looking, they're in a good place right now. I don't really want to draw over them, so I'm keeping most of my fill-in on the center part of the brow and then off toward the tail. But then the part of this little brow routine that you have here that I think really adds to the fullness is the powder step, because while, this is kind of a precise little pointed tip that you have with this powder, kind of spongy powder applicator, it's still going to lay down a thicker amount of color over your brows. So this can be nice, if you wanted to pinpoint certain areas, for example, my scar with the pencil, and then this allows you to kind of go over the entire thing and get a lot of evenness happening. And I gotta say, I really like the finished look. Again, application was easy. Staying power has been fine for me, but I am not one who is completely starting from scratch with my brows, so I would love to hear from those of you who have like hardly any brows and you've used this. How well did it last for you throughout the day, and did you feel like setting the pencil with the powder part, did that help things a little bit more? I would love to hear. And if you really want your brows to stay in place, just in terms of the brow hairs, some people have a little bit more unruly brows than others, you will want to go over this with a brow gel. If your tip-top priority is having the finest tip possible in a brow pencil, again, the other things that are out there, the NYX Micro Brow, the Anastasia Brow Wiz, even from Maybelline, their Define a Brow, they have an even smaller tip compared to what you're getting here. I wouldn't call this like a fat tip, but it's still smaller yet compared to this one. But I think a couple of the great things about this would be the ease of use, and it's just very travel friendly as well. It takes two steps and puts them in a very compact format. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this product as well, and I'll see you later. Bye.